want to welcome you here. We're celebrating a bunch of stuff. We have, of course, our world premiere. We are moving the program around a little bit. So the first piece by Dr. Gallastegui will now be, those pieces will be at the end. So we'll be actually moving in absolute chronological order of the directors that are, who have been directors of this band so far. I have one other thing that I want to mention here. Outside in the lobby, we have our fundraising table where we normally sell the Rockville Rewards cards, and there's a special on that right now. They're only $15, and that they still are good until the end of the year, but they're $15. So that's actually a really good deal for everybody. So now, it's my pleasure to present now Mayor Bridget Donnell Newton. Mayor, please.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the F. Scott Fitzgerald Theater and to the Rockville Concert Band. Today is a very, very special day as it's their 65th year anniversary. I'm turning 65 this year, so that means a lot to me. This is also a very special day because we have a commissioned piece, and the composer of that piece will be arriving shortly. He's actually flying in from overseas, especially for this event. So it's very, very special. We will be welcoming Johan de Meij in just a few minutes. Could I have Dr. Juan Gallastegui back? Juan. On behalf of the Rockville City Mayor and Council and all of our community, we'd like to present you in recognition of your 65th anniversary, to thank you for being with us, for what you've been through in the last couple of years. It doesn't say all this on here, but this is a very special day honoring the challenges that this band and everyone else endured during COVID-19. And oh, there's the mic, thank you. So I want to thank you and your other band directors on behalf of all the citizens of Rockville, and you, the band members, for putting up with masks when I know it wasn't easy to perform. It's been a very trying time for all of us, and to have you all back and doing this today is a real pleasure. So welcome and thank you so much for being here. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And I'd like to introduce our first conductor now, is Dr. Robert Tennyson. He was conductor of the band from 1978 to 1994, and he'll be leading us in a piece by Von Suppe, Light Cavalry, and Malagueña, arranged by Seminestico. Dr. Tennyson.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What a deja vu for me, my goodness. 1978 to 1994 in this very spot. And although the government said I retired a whole bunch of years ago, I guess the hall won't let me go. I'm certainly delighted to be back here again for a little guest appearance with the Rockville Concert Band. The first number we played, the Light Cavalry Overture of Von Suppé, was a piece that I first performed with the band in 1982. And the next piece we're going to do, the wonderful symphonic arrangement setting of Malagueña from Laconia by, his name will come to me in a minute. Anyway, that arrangement we did, Seministico. That arrangement I did with the band in 1984. Seministico setting of Malagueña.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tennyson. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Vincent Patterson, who was conductor of this band from 1995 to 2009, and he'll be doing 3 pieces. Stardust, another Nestico arrangement, Rifle Regiment, which is a Sousa tune, and another tune which is alternately called Circus March, as in your bulletin, but also Rolling Thunder on the sheet music by Sousa. So please, Dr. Vincent Patterson.
Well, happy anniversary, Rockville Concert Band, 65 years, it's hard to believe. I recognize some faces out there from the very beginning when we were all here. And the Rockville Band, as you may know, is unique among American community bands. There are not that many that are 65 years old, number one. Number two, this band is incredibly gifted because they come every week. All year round. They play a concert about once a month. They do community events, as you know, 4th of July, Memorial Day, and all that, which is absolutely extraordinary among American community bands. Most of the hundreds of bands in the United States only play in the summer. Can you imagine that? So this, again, they're unique. They're wonderful for coming out year after year and bringing this great music to us. The resiliency to do that requires a lot of determination and personal resources, as you can imagine. One of the other resiliencies of the band is its ability to play a wide variety of music. So we'd like to contrast with what Dr. Tennyson just did, a piece now that you probably know the melody. Hoagy Carmichael is the composer. Hard to believe the tune is 95 years old. Yes, it was published in 27, and it's had a lot of incarnations. Just about everybody's recorded a variation of it. This particular arrangement is by Sammy Nestico. Sammy's kind of a local guy. He started doing arranging for bands and orchestras at the Air Force Band. Then he went to the Marine Band, and then he went to Hollywood. And from then on, he's very well known. He passed just a couple years ago, but he was incredibly well reputed in the Hollywood and in the studio industry, recordings especially for his arrangements. So sit back and enjoy this reverie, this great lost love that took Hoagy Carmichael 10 years to write this tune for. Here's Stardust. Glad you like that. We like that arrangement. You could probably tell. I thought it would be interesting to do sort of the mainstay repertoire of the American band is marches. Of course, it goes back to the 1700s, and bring you two contrasting, completely different marches, which represent the march development in the United States as well as the genre in and of itself. These two marches were written 30 years apart. John Philip Sousa was the director of the Marine Band when he wrote this first march. It was 1886. And he was kind of feeling his way along as a composer. The second march you'll hear is a standard 4-bar introduction, which came to be the representative form of most American marches. What you're going to hear in Rifle Regiment is an introduction that's 20 bars long. And in addition to that, the repeat, a couple repeats one goes all the way back to the beginning, which again is very unusual in the form, the architecture. You can tell Sousa was really learning his craft as he put this march together. But it's still 100% Sousa, very tuneful. You can get your feet tapping and move those pocketbooks away from there and start tapping and clicking along with us. It's a little slower, too. The tempo is a little under what became the standard American march tempo of about 120. So we'll do the first march now. Here's the Rifle Regiment from 1886, John Philip Sousa. We're having a blast up here because that is probably the most dangerous march in the world. Most of you know that marches, they end at da, ya, ya, da. That march doesn't have that thing on the end. We call it a stinger. And you just want to play the stinger so bad, but anyway, the resiliency of the band wins through again. So thank you, band. That was great. You're going to hear the stinger on the next march now. Okay. So we contrast that Sousa march with Henry Fillmore, a contemporary of Sousa and Carole King. Henry Fillmore was a trombone player, and his big claim to fame was playing in and writing circus music. So this particular march, Rolling Thunder, is one of his many tunes that he wrote for the circuses that rehearsed year-round in Florida, Barnum and Bailey, Ringling Brothers, all of those. I got to play the circus one year back in the 80s. It was the toughest gig I ever had. It was a lot of fun, but circus music really romps. Now, this particular one is played when the horses come out and the clowns are running around willy-nilly and helter-skelter, and all three rings are going crazy at the same time. So it's a very up-tempo, bright, typical circus march. Henry Fillmore at his best, and a great contrast to the previous march. So we hope if you feel like running up and down the aisles with the horses here, go right ahead. Here's Rolling Thunder.
Thank you so much, Dr. Patterson. Now I'd like to welcome to the stage John Saint Amore, who was our director from 2010 to 2020. And he missed his last concert because of COVID. COVID canceled the last concert. So this actually now is a nice way for us to have one more concert with Dr. Saint Amore, with Mr. Saint Amore. Please John Saint Amore, please join us. Thank you so much.
So there are two things that I'm doing that I really didn't do much as when I was the music director. The first is a band suite. I don't think I conducted a whole lot of band suites. We did this one once, but that wasn't really quite the style of music that I did. So that's one. And two is I usually speak off the cuff, and I decided today to take notes. And they'll be thankful for that. That means that we'll be short and brief and to the point. First of all, I'd like to thank Juan and the RCB for inviting me to this anniversary performance. It's really an honor after 2 years and having that season cut short to be back here in front of this group again. So I'd like to thank them, and of course, I'm surrounded by all the other wonderful former conductors, but to the bottom of my heart, thank you to the RCB for bringing me back. Thank you. Before COVID, our former band secretary, Mimi McNeil, had been undergoing treatment for cancer. Through it, she'd almost always attend rehearsal. And at rehearsal, I'd always ask her, hey, how are you? And her answer to me would be, I'm here. Most of the time, just showing up isn't enough, right? We always want more out of people. In fact, I used to tell the band, we're only as good as our next performance, which is my way of motivating them, to not rest on your laurels and always try to improve. But here we are, post-COVID, about to hear de Meij's year 2020, and I think I'm finally seeing things the way Mimi saw them. We're here, and sometimes that's enough. And by everyone, I mean everyone here, everyone on the stage who's here, everybody who's in the audience who's here, all the conductors who are here. It's enough. Guests, we're here. And we're all the seeds to the next performance and to the performance after that, where this ensemble will have an opportunity to regrow, which is something that Mimi always cared about, growing and developing and just being. And with that, I leave you with the words of Leonard Bernstein from this tune. Before we die, to make some sense of life, we're neither pure, nor wise, nor good. We'll do the best we know. We'll build our houses, we'll chop our wood, and we'll make our garden grow. And we'll make our garden grow.
So thank you very much, Mr. Saint Amore. Now I'd like to introduce to you our present director, Juan Gallastegui. Dr. Juan Gallastegui, please.
Well, clearly I'm the shorter one. Thank you so much all for coming today. Well, as usual, nothing goes as we plan sometimes. I was going to be the first one conducting today, and we were going to begin with a really special piece. But as you know by now, we've changed everything. So instead of beginning with that piece, I'm going to begin with the one that the title is Pain in Spanish. So that piece has a very moving story. In November of 2021, the band lost a dear member of the flute section and a mother, actually, to this band. Mimi McNeil passed away after fighting an illness and left us missing her smile and skills as a flute and harp player. She was named Rockville Volunteer of the Year just a few months before her passing. And we in the band believe she was the greatest volunteer, the greatest. For that reason, the Rockville Concert Band has now named our annual Volunteer Award of the Year as Mimi McNeil Volunteer of the Year Award. After this concert, a plaque will be placed in our band room downstairs with her name and years of service to the band, and we will place it right there outside our band room. And this evening, during our band dinner that we are going to have after the concert, we will name the first recipient of the Mimi McNeil Award. For this special occasion, I wrote this piece with the title Dolor, which is the Spanish word for pain, and have dedicated it in honor of our dear Mimi and the Rockville Concert Band. Thank you. Thank you very much. And now for the moment that I think everybody has been waiting way too much. This piece was commissioned by the Rockville Concert Band and the city of Rockville to the renowned composer and conductor Johan de Meij, which happens to be here today with us, and I'm going to call him right now to the stage. Please, Johan de Meij.
Thank you very much for having me here today, and congratulations to the Rockville Concert Band. They're almost as old as I am, so. So I was very pleased in the early 2020 when Juan asked me to write a piece for the anniversary, and his timing was impeccable as always, because it was just after the outbreak of the pandemic, and I had a lot of time. Usually I'm traveling a lot to conduct, but not in 2020 and not in 21. So thank God that's coming back again. So with every new work, you think, oh, okay, what am I going to talk about this time? And for me, it was sort of inevitable to dedicate the piece to the world we were living in then. And so the year 2020 is not a very happy piece. It's sort of expresses my feelings, how I felt during the whole pandemic. Sort of, there was some angriness, some fear about what's going to happen, when is it going to end. And it came so suddenly that I tried to translate that musically in the first part of the piece of an invisible army rolling in. You hear some drums and then very somber melody, and it sounds like the soldiers are marching in. And actually, I should rename the piece to 22 now, because unfortunately, these things keep happening in the world, you know. So, and halfway, the atmosphere changes. It becomes much more optimistic, but towards the end, it's not a big happy ending. It's sort of a peaceful ending. And that's how the year 2020 ended, because the pandemic wasn't over yet. And after lots of discussion with Juan, I said, you know, I think I like this. I don't want to end on a big major chord, because the situation wasn't like that at the end of 2020, and not even the end of 21. So this is it. It's sort of a moment in time of my life and everybody else's life. So I truly hope you will enjoy it. Thank you.